Any day, mother's cooking. Any day, any day. I would leave a meal at the restaurant, come back home to have mother's cooking.
What's a traditional spice combination or technique that instantly enhances a simple dish?
It has to come from within your heart. I think that's the key ingredient. Ingredients used to make a dish is something different, but something coming out of your heart, that's the main ingredient.
Hello and welcome to the Indulge podcast. Joining us today is one of India's most respected culinary voices, Chef Chalapathi Rao. He's the force behind the acclaimed restaurant Simply South. From being an aspiring doctor to a culinary icon, his journey is of tradition, innovation, and an enduring love for food. Thank you for joining with us, Chef. How have you been?
Good. Thanks for inviting me.
Chef, you were all set to wear the doctor's white coat but ended up wearing chef's jacket instead. Looking back, do you think food chose you more than you chose food?
Too difficult to say, but as I said, as I've told to a lot of people that I have no regrets, that instead of wearing a white coat, I'm wearing a chef jacket, and it gives me the same immense pleasure to serve people.
Right. How has your background in science or knowledge helped you while practicing culinary?
When we were studying culinary in culinary school, there were subjects like food science and canning of food and things like that. Being from a science background certainly helped. Uh, being very honest, I never used to attend food science class. So one day my madam called me and asked, do you know, Chalpati, we don't give attendance to dead people. And I said, ma'am, I'll be there in your next class. Then she said, okay, I'll give you a test. If you pass, I will never question you for not attending my class. So next class I was there, and she gave me to make a slide in biology. We use botany or zoology. We make slides of tissues and things like that. She told me to make a slide of something. Being from the science background stream, it took me a couple of minutes while the rest of the students were struggling to make that slide. I made it, and I put it under the microscope and showed it to her. And I didn't even ask her or take her permission. I just walked off from the class. So maybe I was too confident. That's why I could do that, and certainly science has helped me in that.
Right. Chef, the idea of becoming a chef was not as glamorous back then, as it is today. So, how did your initial days look like? Were there times when you felt like giving up, or did you face any tough times in the journey?
Certainly, I faced tough times, but I've never thought of giving it up. Uh, uh, the reason being, certainly, uh, after seeing the industry in the second year of my college in the hospitality, where we undergo industrial exposure training, it gives you insight of the entire gamut of the industry per se, and you are given opportunity to work in various departments. So that opens up your thought process of which stream would like to choose. Like either you want to be in a kitchen, you want to be in a service, or you want to be in a front office or a housekeeping, etc. Things like that. So it opens up your thought process. So it gives you opportunity to learn all departments. So that's how I felt, and as I said, I had never had any thoughts of giving it up. It's difficult, it's not easy, but never that thought of giving it up ever crossed my mind, being very honest.
Right, right. How was it back then with family? Did you have to convince your parents to get into culinary when they expected you to be a doctor? Like, were they upset in the initial stages of your career? How was it like?
So it's not an easy task to convince your parents about it, because I'm talking about 3 decades back, when people used to believe in professions like being a chartered accountant or a doctor or an engineer or a lawyer. Uh, Being a chef was never considered as a as a profession per se, or you used to get tagged as he never used to do well in studies? So he's opting for hotel management. So those kind of stigmas were attached to it. But thanks to various chefs over the last few years, be it electronic media, be it print media, be it shows on the on televisions, have showed to people what a chef is all about. So now at least people know when you say you're a chef, people stand up and recognize you as a professional. Let me put it that way. So things have certainly changed over the last 30 plus years, but a long way to go.
Right. Also, chef, please correct me if I'm wrong. But growing up, I guess your mother met with an accident, and that had an impact on your childhood. So, how did that sort of influence your journey in the initial stages?
So maybe I was 11, 10, 11 when my mother met with an accident, and it was a very severe one, and she was bedridden for almost 6 months. So my brother, my sister, and my dad, we all used to get together to make some food. That's how my journey into the culinary world started. But I never thought that after 10 years I will be a chef, or studying in a hospitality school. And that was the beginning. I never connected both together, being very honest. But as I said, wanted to be a doctor, and I was waitlisted in one of the prestigious medical colleges. So I was very hopeful that I'll become a doctor. Sitting now 30 years down the line, I repeat, I have no regrets and no turning back.
Right, right. How did your family's culinary traditions and values shape your approach to preserving South Indian cuisine?
Or wherever I am in the world, whichever part of the world I am, if I have a doubt, the first person who gets a call is my mother.
Sweet.
Uh, I'm at a crossroad, or I have a doubt. The first call goes to my mom. Uh, then to somebody else if she is unable to answer, but first call goes to my mom.
No matter how big a chef becomes, there's always a mother's dish that can never be matched, you know. So, is there any particular dish that your mother used to make and you still remember that and it continues to stay with you?
Can I correct that?
Yeah, yeah, please.
I will say that it's mother's cooking. It's not a dish. It
Yeah,
will be
right.
unfair on my part to say that. Any day, mother's cooking. Any day, any day. I would, uh, uh, I would leave a meal at the restaurant, come back home to have mother's cooking.
Right. And any specific dish that you would like to mention? Uh,
Mother, whatever she makes is, the best part of mothers is, they understand each and every sibling's requirement and taste profile, which is unique to them only, because they understand if I don't like to eat spicy food, they'll make a dish which is not spicy for me, but it is tasteful for other siblings of mine.
right.
Yeah, it's not
Right.
that they'll complain it's not spicy. So that only a mother can do it.
Bachelor life often inspires creative cooking with limited ingredients. What's your best bachelor dish memory?
It used to be a bread omelette, faster to make, grab and go.
Right. You often talk about the science of cooking. Could you break that down for us in simple words? What are the scientific aspects of cooking?
So it's very important to understand the science behind each ingredient and the role of each ingredient in the dish what you're making. So if you put whole garam masala into oil in the beginning of making a dish, basically you're imparting a flavor of garam masala to the oil in which whatever you're cooking. But if you're finishing a dish with a garam masala in the end, the role different. It's very different. It gives a very aromatic flavor to the entire dish. Maybe if there is a black pepper or dry red chili, might give you a little, a punch or the spice to the entire dish. So you need to understand the role of each ingredient.
Yes, yes. Every kitchen has its share of, tough tales, long hours, heat, pressure. What are some of the toughest moments faced in your journey? Even Anthony Bourdain's Kitchen Confidential, he talks about how brutal a kitchen could be. So what were the key sacrifices and turning points that shaped you into a chef that you're today?
Chef Anthony has already mentioned
Yes,
quite few,
and
but uh, this profession certainly demands a lot of sacrifices. There are times when people enjoy, and that is the time when you are working the most. For example, on a weekend, most of the people are enjoying. Weekends are the most busiest for you.
right,
So that's the
true,
kind of sacrifices you have to make uh, to be in this industry. Uh, Even now, being an entrepreneur, uh, when I'm in the city, there is not a day that I don't visit my restaurant. The amount of time I spend in the restaurant does vary, but if I'm in the city, I will go to the restaurant. There's no off day for me.
absolutely.
So this industry is demanding certainly, but rewarding too.
Right, right, right. After a celebrated career with ITC, what made you take the leap into entrepreneurship? How did your daughter's words, "When are you going to spend time with me," influence that decision?
Uh, no, that's certainly yes. It changes the entire perspective of uh, for whom we are working, why we are working. What is the point in working if we don't have work-life balance? All that comes into your mind, but certainly as a hotelier, one certainly what my daughter has said, but as a hotelier, everybody has a dream uh, to own something of their own. So I felt what my daughter said, and I felt I think the time is right for me now to venture or start something of my own.
Right. Coming to Simply South, how did you figure out a way to stand out in a fairly traditional market? Because people do have their favorites, like in Bangalore, the Nagarjunas. What was your approach? What was the idea behind the inception in a country where there's no dearth of South Indian food, to be honest?
As I said, our cuisine is so diverse, and there are so many micro cuisines which are there, which are still untapped, unexplored to be
Right.
showcased. So there are a couple of challenges what we felt. One, serving a South Indian food was the biggest challenge because immediately a lot of parallels will come in our houses. This dish is made this way. Yes,
Yeah.
so the parallels are quite common to come. Second thing, when we visited various restaurants, we came across there was no brand particularly specializing only in the food from the southern part of India. So that was another opportunity for us to take it up. Third thing, being my forte, I said, why should not?
Yeah.
Why we should not try it out and put it across to the world?
Right. Absolutely. If you had to give our audience one must try dish from the southern state, what would that be?
Wow, now you have put me in a catch 22 situation. It's really unfair to say one particular dish. Uh, the most easiest of the answers to being diplomatic to your question would be rice, because rice is the most common ingredient across the south of India, and
Right.
we all eat short grain rice. It's just that one is brown rice, one is white rice, but all are short grain in terms of
Right.
So rice is one thing which I will say, but I would like to urge people whoever are trying it out, they need to know, or I keep telling this to a lot of people. One aspect is cooking, one aspect is telling your guests how and why it should be eaten that way.
What do people think of Indian food abroad? They imagine butter chicken or naan or chicken tikka masala, but South Indian cuisine is quite diverse in that sense. How do you think South Indian food can gain stronger representation internationally?
We have to blame ourselves for this. Our cuisine is so diverse, our cuisine is so culturally related, our cuisine is traditional related traditions in terms of for a particular festival you make a particular kind of a dish, all that kind of things are there, but unfortunately, uh, unlike Chinese cuisine, we couldn't market our cuisine the way the Chinese cuisine got marketed. So partly all of us have to be blamed for it, for not marketing our cuisine the right way, because I feel that is only one thing what we lack. That's why we don't stand abroad as much as other cuisines or the Chinese cuisines stand. The reason being that,
Also, chef, you've given a lot of emphasis on using traditional ingredients in your dishes. So, how do you, sort of source them, or do you find challenges in maintaining the quality?
yes, sourcing them sometimes becomes really challenge. We have just done Onam. So
Hmm.
most of our stuff came from Kerala, from the papad to the banana chips to everything. There are times when it becomes little challenging to get ingredients, but if you have to use a bedge chili in a certain preparation, I prefer to use bedge chili only. I will not look for a substitute of it.
Right.
So that's how you can retain the authenticity.
Authenticity, absolutely, yes. You've had the honor of crafting menus for VIP, VIPs and dignitaries, including the late Prince Philip and various heads of states. What insights did you gain from these kind of experiences?
Ah, plenty. Cooking for a VIP is totally different ball game. I don't know you're aware of it or not. There are certain hotels in Delhi uh, who have started creating a separate VIP kitchens, which is away from
Okay,
the regular kitchens.
okay.
When any head of state or somebody comes, the food is cooked in that particular kitchen only. It will not come from anywhere
Hmm.
else
Hmm.
because of various security reasons and other reasons, and it's under surveillance and things like that. A lot of other processes go behind, which is not known to the people.
Right.
Uh, so, keeping all that in mind, they started creating separate kitchens. So it's a great learning to work under that kind of atmosphere where uh, every ingredient to every this thing is tested, tasted, everything, and then
Hmm.
given to use,
Right.
given to put to use in the terms of it. So there's a lot of thought behind which goes in it, and so it's a very different ball game, but it's fun.
Right, right. I'm sure. You were a part of the expert panel for MasterChef India and later appeared as a judge on MasterChef India Telugu. How did these experiences influence your approach to South Indian cuisine
Ah,
and the way it's presented, of course?
so when I was a part of expert panel member, I had the opportunity to sit with the judges and the other team members of the Master Chef and work out on various pressure tests uh, or various kind of challenges with them, which would you would see in the season. So sit with them, work with them, understand what should be the kind of pressure test, how much can they do it, or a mystery box kind of a thing, and things like that. That was my role as an expert panel. This thing, and as a judge, it's a very different ball game altogether. You, I personally believe in one thing: what is kept in front of me, I will judge what is there in the plate.
Right.
So it's such a great platform to be in, and very happy to see home cooks or contestants coming up with great ideas
Chef, today anyone with a phone and an Instagram account becomes a food critic. And while it seems very exciting, it can also raise questions of credibility. So, as a chef, how do you deal with these kind of things?
It's sometimes become really challenging uh, when people. I see. I look at it little differently. First of all, these days the search engines and accessibility to various material has made everybody experts to talk about a dish or any this thing. So I don't disagree of you being an expert or you want to question, but you need to understand the right way of doing it and things. Then you can obviously criticize or ask questions about it. I don't mind. And these days, why critics? The guests are so educated enough in cuisine itself to question you. So I don't see it anything wrong. But the other side of it, there are universities who are giving you a degree to be a critic. I would rather prefer somebody goes through that and get that degree. Then it is recognized across the world where you can go as a critic
Right.
and do a there are universities in Spain and other countries which are offering courses in this.
Hmm. Interesting.
So you
Yeah.
go there and it's a 3-year program if I'm correct, and it's recognized across the world.
Knowing that you are well versed in the traditional dishes, because of course they are familiar to you, have you ever thought about breaking into any other cuisine or opening a restaurant that specializes in a different cuisine apart from the South Indian food?
Yeah, these thoughts keep coming to me, but there is so much, as I said earlier, to be explored in South Indian cuisine itself. Even if I want to open a restaurant, I would look at what has been unexplored or untapped in South Indian cuisine. I would like to work on that rather than trying and doing something very new or very different from what I have been doing.
What would you tell someone who is about to get into culinary arts as a profession? Are there any particular lessons that you wished you learned before, or is there something that you want to tell youngsters who are interested in culinary arts?
So I'll tell them only one thing. During our days, there was nothing called a search engine. Uh, we didn't even know what a mayonnaise is all about. Okay, but now with so much of knowledge available to to everybody, be it GPT or whatever. Yeah, Chat GPT plus your search engines, everything. It's at your fingertips to understand Google or learn from whatever is available. For us, you had to sit in a library to understand, then practice it. Unlike here, they can see a video and try to understand much better. Things have eased out, certainly, yes. But
Right.
if you have a uh, desire to make a career in hospitality, uh, be prepared to do a lot of sacrifices. And I always tell everybody, if you have a dream, please chase it. It might
Right.
take some time, sometimes it might take little longer sometimes, but don't give up your dream.
Right. Beautiful. Yeah. Um, chef, chef, how do chefs deal with food fatigue? Like cooking every day, seeing the same things, and still being excited about it.
Uh, good one, good one. I really like it. A lot of people ask me this question: what's your favorite food? See, as chefs, you see so much of food, and when you actually sit to eat, you'll be surprised. We sit in kitchens, जो मिलता है, whatever is available, we just sit there and eat what staff curry is made. That is the best food I feel, because you see so much of food every day, and when you are asked what you would like to eat, it becomes a big you make a big question mark. It's like a question mark on your face कि अरे क्या खाऊं आज. You are in a dilemma. So simple, whatever is made, we prefer to eat that.
Right.
I would prefer to eat a curd rice any day.
Right.
And sometimes it becomes a challenge too. Family wants to go out and try various dishes, but you being a chef want to avoid going out because you see so much of food, you eat,
Food.
taste
Yes.
so much of food. They say, "What boring? You're still ordering curd rice here also." But
Yeah.
for us, we see so much of food and taste so much of food. We feel home food or next
Overwhelmed
to
also
yeah.
sometimes. Right. Right. Nice. Now, Chef, since we have you with us today and we are discussing about food, how about talking about some hacks, cooking hacks?
Oh, okay.
We would like to know that from you.
Yeah.
Um, what are some of the traditional South Indian kitchen hacks your mother or grandmother used to do or follow that still work wonders for you?
I don't measure chili powder or salt and put.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Our mothers, our grandmothers never used to measure and put. Similarly, I also don't measure and put or anything. It still works in commercial kitchens too.
Absolutely. How did people preserve food before refrigerators, and can any of those techniques be relevant even today?
Some are still relevant in terms of like a fish curry. If it's made today and allowed to mature and consumed next day, it tastes much better. So in a clay pot, it's left to and clay pot being porous helps to maintain the while cooking also it helps to maintain the heat
Right.
across the vessel, the same heat because of the pores what it has, and you don't require that much oil while cooking in clay pots and things like that.
What's a traditional spice combination or technique that instantly enhances a simple dish?
Ah, it's very difficult. There is nothing like a wand which you do shusha and the dish becomes now. It has to come from within your heart.
Mhm.
I think that's the key ingredient. Ingredients used to make a dish is something different, but something coming out of your heart, that's the main ingredient.
Any hacks to make tamarind pulp quickly or without any mess?
You soak it in warm water, that's the very
That's
easy.
it.
Yeah.
Also, I think this is for all the health conscious people out there. Any clever ways to reduce cooking oil usage without sacrificing the taste of the food?
uh, no, I look at it the other way around. Everything in moderation is better. Uh, it's not that you need to float your dishes with oil. Everything in moderation is good for health. The other side of it, I would rather say use the right cooking oil in moderation
Mhm.
is the better way to go forward.
Right, right. What's the science behind adding tadka? The tempering that we do, and what's the best time to add it to a dish?
It depends. It completely depends. The beginning of the dish or finishing a dish. Uh, Certain dishes you begin with a tadka. It imparts flavor to the oil. That oil in particular adds flavor to the dish, whole dish. When you're doing a tadka in a dal at the last and you cover it with a lid, it leaves that aroma inside the dal, and it adds flavor, nuttiness of the dals, whatever, the
Right.
flavor of garlic sometimes. So role of tadka in the beginning and the end changes.
With this, we will move towards a rapid fire round. Yeah,
Okay,
yes. What do you love most about South Indian food?
flavors.
What does a perfect meal look like to you?
A combination of a dal, rice, and a curry and curd.
If you could share a meal with one person, living or dead, what would it be? And why?
Curd rice.
Why?
It's curd is one of the ingredients. My friends keep taunting me. If you become a prisoner of war, and they need to know the secrets, if they stop giving you curd, you will divulge everything to them. So curd is one thing. Wherever I'm in the world, I need to end my meal with curd rice. So without curd, I cannot live.
One non-Indian ingredient that you think has a lot of potential in Indian cuisine?
Jatar spice. It can be used in Indian cuisine in a very good way.
Right. A piece of advice you'd give your younger self starting out in the culinary world?
I wish I had such engines like this, what I had. those
Nice,
days.
nice.
Maybe
Yeah, yeah, true.
my vision, my lookout would have been very different.
A dish you have never cooked but want to master.
Oh, uh, a dish or a cuisine what I love to eat is Lebanese. So I don't cook Lebanese cuisine very often, but I would love to master it.
A big adventure or curled in bed with a book. Your favorite unwind process.
Uh, Dicey one. Uh, Adventure, uh, more towards the hills.
Right, right. A kitchen habit that you swear by.
Cleanliness,
What's your guilty pleasure food?
desserts,
Pressure cooker or slow cooking?
slow cooking.
Your secret to staying inspired after all these years in the kitchen.
I'm still learning.
What's one spice you cannot live without?
Pepper,
What's a cooking memory from childhood that still makes you smile?
cooking rice.
With this, we conclude this podcast. It was one amazing conversation. Thank you so much for joining with us, Chef.